It's grand final time. The Storm take on the Panthers. I'm Darcy McDonald, and with me is a former Panther in Josh Mansour to preview the big game. How are you?
I'm very good, very excited. I got a bit of PTSD, obviously, with this matchup in 2020, but very excited. I think these two teams deserve to be there.
Surely this brings back some memories from the lead up to that 2020 grand final. Storm v Panthers, good and bad memories,
The scar's still healing up, right? But no, it's like I said, it's been an amazing season. It's gone so quick, and I can't wait for grand final day.
Well, the Roosters had all the running early against the Storm last week, yet Melbourne recovered and ended up winning by 30. Is that as good a performance as you've seen so far this year?
That is one of the greatest and complete performances I've seen Melbourne play in the last couple of years, I have to say. And I have to talk about their spine. Obviously, Ryan Papenhuyzen, Cameron Munster, Jerome Hughes and Harry Grant, they are all fit and firing at the most perfect time for them. And, you know, there's been a bit of debate as well, comparing those players with the likes of Billy Slater, Cooper Cron, Cameron Smith. And, you know, if these guys keep going the way they're going at the moment, they can definitely win that debate. So, wait and see.
Big call.
I know.
Meanwhile, the Panthers were in clinical mode, dismantling the Sharks with patience and trusting their process. Are they peaking at just the right time?
They are, and you know, I had my concerns with Penrith. If we think of that last round against the Titans, I thought they were looking a bit weary and tired, and I had my reservations. And year after year, I think people question about, do they have the motivation? Do they have the discipline? And yes, they do. Like year after year, they come with a theme. They all buy into it, and it always leads them to a grand final. 5 consecutive grand finals, Darcy. It's unbelievable. And I know internally they don't like to use the term dynasty, but it's pretty obvious. It's in everyone's eyes. Like this is clearly one of the most special teams we've seen in the modern game, and it's a privilege to see. I know people are getting a bit bored with these two teams, but you have to respect greatness.
Once in a generation, and we're so lucky that we get to. You were a part of the start.
Yeah, very, very grateful. Had an amazing 9 seasons at Penrith, and it's great to see what they're doing now.
Well, let's talk some matchups now, and let's start with the backs. Ryan Papenhuyzen had his best game in 2 years last week, and Dylan Edwards is in career best form, making Origin for the very first time. It's going to be a great battle between the number ones. Well,
you got X Factor up against Mr. Reliable and Dylan Edwards, and yeah, like you said, Ryan Papenhuyzen, you know, he had a few injuries this year, but last week was unbelievable performance. You know, his sweeping at the back on those block shapes was absolutely tearing apart that left edge for the Roosters and causing all kinds of havoc. And you know, Ryan Papenhuyzen, like, he has everything our fullback in the modern game needs. You know, he covers the ground very easily, he's very light, he's got great footwork, and he's got absolutely blistering speed. So he's a massive asset for this Melbourne team. But Dylan Edwards, like, he got rewarded that New South Wales Blues jumper, which he's thoroughly deserved. Took out an Origin series as well. He's almost done everything, Dylan, and he's a good mate of mine. I'm very happy with him. I'm happy for him, and again, he goes by the name of Mr. Consistent, and he proves that week in, week out.
Absolutely. Well, big games are almost always decided up front. And James Fisher-Harris is in his last game as a Panther, taking on the unheralded but strong Storm pack, who will be without Nelson Asofa-Solomona, but have a very capable replacement in Tui Kamikamica.
Yeah, disappointing not having Nelson play. You know, everyone wants to play in a grand final, and you know, unfortunate things happen, and obviously getting rubbed out in this game. He's a massive loss, and I think it's a bit of a kick in the guts for the Melbourne Storm. He just imposes such an intimidating factor with his frame, his physicality that he brings, and you know, he's the number 1 enforcer, so it's a big loss. Then you've got obviously Penrith and James Fisher-Harris, and it's almost like the last ride for the Panthers. They've got Jerome Luai leaving, they've got James, and what James has been able to instill in the club, like, he's not a man of many words, but he just enforces actions week after week, sets high standards for himself and for the team, and he's one of the main reasons why the Penrith Panthers have had such a successful run. It's the standards and physicality he brings. He's the number 1 enforcer, and I can't see him in another jersey. It's fun to say that he's leaving, but I wish him all the best, because he's gone home to see to be closer with his family.
End of an era, isn't it?
End of an era.
Well, what about the spine? And Melbourne's arguably the best in the game at the moment, while Penrith still have their dynamic duo for one last outing in Nathan Cleary and Jerome Luai, desperate to finish the last ride on a high.
Well, you saying that they're the best spine in the game, I think the Penrith Panthers, after hearing this, might take that a bit personally to us. You know, I think they like their chances. You know, I think they definitely take this challenge head on, and I think it actually boosts the confidence, and I guess it's being the underdog for the Panthers is the best thing for them going into this game. They've lost to Melbourne twice this year, and I think twice of those games, or one of those games, was pretty much without Nathan. So to have Nathan back, Jerome as well, fit and firing. It's been a massive year in terms of evolution for Jerome. You know, people always question, could he be the man? Could he be the man to steer this team without Nathan? And God has he. He's been absolutely outstanding. And these two spines head to head, these two teams, two coaches, best matchup we've seen this year. I can't wait for it. Obviously, Melbourne Storm, they're 2-0 against the Panthers this year. Can they win 3 in a row? Wait and see.
I can't believe you just used Panthers and underdog in the same sentence.
It doesn't make sense.
In this era.
It doesn't make sense. You know, I think the way the Melbourne have played this year, with the level of consistency, with the outs as well that they've had to do it without Cameron Munster for most of the season. And they've got unheralded players in that team, like Sean Bloor, unbelievable season. At least Katoa, outstanding season. And then you've got Trent Loiero, who's obviously got an Origin berth this year as well. So all these players have really had a great season and they deserve to be there.
Well, I hate to bring it up, but these two have met in a decider once before, and that was in 2020. You played and the Storm won by 6, withstanding a late comeback. Can the Panthers exact revenge on that game and make it an incredible 4 premierships in a row, or will Melbourne come out on top?
I want to be obvious. I want to just put out the obvious. I'm a bit biased in this matter, so I hope the Panthers get on top. I'm actually going to tip them as well. I don't know. I just can't see the Melbourne Storm beating Panthers 3 times in one season. There's a lot of motivation going into this game, and for the Panthers in particular, they're losing Jerome, they're losing Fish. And they're losing their home stadium. So there's going to be a lot of change for the Panthers next season, and they're in this perfect position now. They've got to capitalise on it. Melbourne are in a great position as well, but they've got a long future. They've got more stability for the years to come. With the experience of grand finals, you have to lean towards the Panthers as well. Of obviously the heartbreak in 2020 as well. I'm sure that's on some of the players' minds as well, and they want to go out there and make an absolute statement of this game. So it's going to be a great game. I'm sure all the fans are going to enjoy this matchup, and I think I'm going to go with the Panthers.
I'm going to push you one step further and give me a scoreline.
It's going to be close. It's a flip of a coin, this game, but I'm going to say 2018.
All right, thanks, Josh.
No worries.
If you want to see this match live, simply go to nrl.com/tickets. If you can't get to the game, you can still watch it on Channel 9. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m.
Enjoy your grand final.